If you would like to get some more custom players in the league, you can let us know on our Discord, which is linked below, or in the comments. Just let us know what name you want for your player, keep it appropriate. If you want, you can also pick where they are from, their jersey number and position. But if you want just the name and the rest random, that is okay too. We all miss Old Standard, but the show must go on. We begin with Phoenix playing Houston.
Home run by Wyatt Graham to start the game.
In the bottom half, Edmundo Vasquez would walk, then Paul Guzman singled.
Another single by Silvio Gasol drove in one run.
Washington Barramar has a chance to win the game.
He makes contact with one. But it is the first out of the bottom half of the inning.
Daniel Prince would then strike out.
This gave Tyler Tapia a chance to be the hero.
A very fast strikeout, and this game will go another inning.
After 2 one-out walks in the top of the fourth, Radoslav Krostev would single driving in one run.
Joel Hurtado tries to add some insurance runs, but hits into an inning-ending double play.
Washington Barramar leads off the bottom half with a solo home run to tie the game.
2 more singles would follow, before Jet Duffy walked off with a 3-run home run.
Then the Regulators played the speed.
Tyan Slater leads the game off with a home run. Borja Aaron and Eric Brady would both single to start off the bottom half.
Sue Krasentine would then also single, with Borja Aaron advancing 2 bases to score.
Spencer Quinn hits into a double play, and now it is looking like it might be a long one.
Lyle Scelfo would drive in the winning run though.
Then it was the Ajax Assassins versus the London Regulators.
Nicholas Savolainen would find himself at third with 1 out in the top of the first, but 2 quick outs and Ajax fails to score.
Some terrible pitching would load the bases for the Regulators with just 1 out.
Devontae Bass would then easily walk off for London.
Then our biggest rivals Jamaica and Phoenix would face off.
A wild pitch puts 2 runners in scoring position, but Will Hurtado hits into a 3rd out.
We go to the 5th.
In the bottom of the 5th, the Phenomenon would load the bases with 2 outs.
Kendall Ritter strikes out, and this game continues.
Then in the bottom of the 6th, with 2 outs and runners on the corners, Lim Song-hun has another chance to win this game for Phoenix.
He strikes out.
Finally, in the bottom of the 9th, with 2 outs and runners on first and second, Joel Hurtado gets a walk-off hit.
Now for the Eagles against the Suns.
In the top of the 2nd, with 1 out and runners on first and second, Randon Katz doubles, scoring 1.
An intentional walk would then load the bases.
2 more outs and they only get 1.
The Eagles walk the first 2 batters in the bottom half, then they both move ahead 1 base on a sacrifice by Ulysse Saluni.
Guess who is back?
New Standard.
No, that is Old Standard. How are you? Where have you been?
Wasn't feeling too well for a bit. Had to stay home. Home run. Dominican wins.
Our next game is St. Louis versus Houston.
So? Are all 3 of us doing this now?
Do you have a problem with me, Ann?
Let's take it easy, everyone. We have a great game going on here. Edmundo Vasquez just stole third to put runners on the corners with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd.
Paul Guzman is out stealing second.
We then go all the way to the top of the 8th.
Tyler Gray then sacrifices runners over to second and third with 2 outs.
Then Kyosuke Shigematsu would make contact with 1. But it is the 3rd out and this game would continue.
I would like to correct something Old Standard said before I was here. Washington Barramar was not last season's MVP, he was the finals MVP and Rookie of the Year.
The double standard curse.
Oh no, he is injured.
In the top of the 10th, the angry Redbirds would load the bases.
With just 1 out.
But then the 2nd out happened.
This game would then continue. And when I say continue, well, I mean it.
Secret bonus for those watching the whole video early, let us know what place and team name you want and you can be in the league for Season 4. There are a few places we won't allow unless you are the person we have it on hold for.
You only have until 1 week after this video comes out to get this great early opportunity.
Unless you're someone we have a place on hold for, so a PL1 champ.
This has become a record-long game for Smallball TV.
Finally in the bottom of the 15th Edmundo Vasquez would walk off. Love Doctors win.
Our next matchup is Boston against Denver.
Ed Annunziata would walk leading off the bottom of the second.
Tom Chapman Brown would fly out to center field, however Ed manages to advance to second.
A wild pitch allowed Annunziata to get to third with still just 1 out.
Crazy.
Albert Moreau would ground into the second out.
Talon Hernandez strikes out, stranding Annunziata at third.
Blood Sweat Beards load the bases in the top of the third with just 1 out.
Austin Harvey strikes out for the second out.
Che Veckley gets walked and Boston leads 1-0.
Another strikeout and they only get the 1.
Toro Palladino would come up in the bottom half, hoping to give the Dark Elves a chance with 2 outs and a runner on first.
A double and the game is now tied 1 apiece.
Tyler Congdon has a chance to win the game now, with a single he advances Toro to third.
Ed Annunziata comes to the plate with a chance to win the game and fly ball. Caught by the center fielder, game stays tied.
In the top of the fourth, with 1 out, C.J. Holland would hit a solo home run.
A wild pitch in the bottom of the fourth with 2 outs allows Tom Chapman Brown to advance to third base.
Abe Kaiser would strike out and Boston gets the win.
Our next game saw the Suns taking on the Assassins.
With no outs and runners on first and second in the top of the second, Ulysses Saluni would single, driving in 1 run.
Ajax would get runners on the corner with 2 outs. They would fail to score and be eliminated from championship contention.
Our last game for this SBTV report is Phoenix versus Boston.
Mike Cage would single leading off the top of the third, he then advances to second on a passed ball.
Wyatt Graham quickly singled and drove him in.
That would be enough for the Phenomenon to get the victory.
Looking at our standings, we see that Denver is only slightly ahead of last season's champions Houston.
The Cosby Eagles could still have a good chance too.
The bottom 3 teams are already unable to win this season, and the 4 teams in the middle aren't that far off from joining them.
How will this season end? Find out next time, Smallballers.